A good Yom Tov to everybody. A good Moed. We're now in the middle of this beautiful and joyous Yom Tov of Sukkot. And of course, it's a Thursday, and if it's a Thursday, it means that it's time for us to give our Nesivos Shalom share. Doesn't matter what week of the year, what time of the year it is. Thursday night, it's actually Thursday during the day now, on a day of Chol Hamoed. We're going to give a share this year. However, not on actually the Yom Tov of Sukkot. We're going to speak and we're going to focus in a little more on the final parsha of the Torah, which is S.S.S. Vzos Haberachah. And we're going to read this parsha on Simchas Torah here in Chutz La'aretz. And for those listening and watching in Eretz Yisrael, and I know Baruch Hashem there are lots of you, the completion of the Torah takes place on Shmini Atzeres. And at the very end of the Torah, we find two really very disparate themes. We find two different ways that we can look at how the Torah ends. And the first is really the Torah emphasizing the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. As we know, there was never a person like Moshe Rabbeinu. The unreal connection that Moshe Rabbeinu had to Hashem. And the Pasuk tells us, "V'loikam navi b'Yisrael k'Moshe asher yida'oi Hashem panim el panim." There was never a navi, never a person in the world who was able to actually see Hashem panim el panim. As the Pasuk, the Pasuk teaches face to face, Moshe Rabbeinu had conversations with Kaviyachol, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So there was never such a person. Moshe Rabbeinu was unbelievably great. Moshe Rabbeinu was on such a high level of Nevi'us, as the Pasuk tells us, Tmunas Hashem Yabit, that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to see the Tmunas Hashem. The Pasuk also tells us, furthermore, L'chol ha'isais v'ha'moifsim, for all the isais and the moifsim that Moshe Rabbeinu performed on behalf of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Asher Shalachai Hashem. The Pasuk uses a lashon of Shalachai Hashem, that Moshe Rabbeinu was the Shaliach. Imagine being the Shaliach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that is one theme. The Torah ends at the end of the Torah by telling us the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. And then we come to the other theme at the end of the Torah. The final verse, the final Pasuk of the Torah tells us three things, three lessons that Moshe Rabbeinu left for us. And those are, if you look at the Pasuk, L'chol ha'yora chazaka, L'chol ha'mayra ha'gadol, and Va'asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us what these three things mean. The Yad HaChazaka represents the strong way that we need to stand up for Avodas Hashem. That was a lesson that Moshe Rabbeinu left for us. L'chol ha'yora chazaka is the strong way about which we have to go ahead and do Avodas Hashem. And the Moira Gadol, as we say on Pesach also, Moira Gadol, Chazal tell us, is Gilu Shechina. And that applies to us to tell us that at the times that we feel Gilu Shechina, such as now on a Yom Tov of Sukkot, at times that we are at a high level, and there are times that we feel elevated and close to the Shechina, Moira Gadol tells us that it's our job to keep and hold on to these times. We need to keep the feelings of the special closeness of when we feel close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, such as on a Yom Tov of Sukkot. When we feel those things, the Moira Gadol tells us that when we feel that feeling, we need to hold on to it. Hashem gives us these opportunities, different times of the year, different times in our lives, and we need to hold on to them. And now we come to the final words of the Torah. And the final words of the Torah are Le'enei Kol Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu, says the Nesivos Shalom, left us an extremely important lesson in these last three words of the Torah. And of course we know nothing is random, nothing is by chance, And if the Torah ends with these words, there are many great lessons we can learn out of it. And what does Le'enei Kol Yisrael teach us? What is the lesson that we learned from Moshe Rabbeinu in these last 3 words? Zok in Nesivos Shalom, that the Pashat Pshat is that Le'enei Kol Yisrael, that Moshe Rabbeinu went ahead and in front of Klal Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu took the luchos and he broke them. When he came down from Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu went ahead and broke the luchos. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu was teaching us a life lesson over here. And it's like this. And he says, by the Goyim, Shvirason hi misason. That when something breaks, that when we break something, that's the end of it. When something is broken, that is the end of the life of that thing, of that object. When someone's heart is broken, they resign. That is the way it is by the Goyim. By us Jews, it's different. Breaking and being down is from the Olam HaBinyan. The Olam HaBinyan means the world of building. Somebody or something being broken is the first step in building. The Pasuk tells us in Tehillim, Leiv nishbar v'nitkel ekim lo yisivzeh. A heart that is broken, a heart that is broken for Hashem, Hashem will never turn away from such a heart. Mizbeach evne b'shivron levavi. We build a Mizbeach with our broken heart. When a Yid is broken, it's from the Olam HaBinyan. It's the first step in building back up. Moshe Rabbeinu took it upon himself to break the luchos because that's Moshe Rabbeinu's advice to us, that we can build from something that is broken. So the Pasuk ends the entire Torah with this Le'enei Kol Yisrael, with this breaking of the luchos to teach us that a Jew always has an answer. We always have a way to get back up. We are never, ever lost. We build and we rebuild from the ashes and the ruins of our lives and the ashes and the ruins of the times of our lives. When we're down, we pull out all the influences, like from the times of Yontif, Isru Chag ba'avoisim. We tie up the Yontif, a play on words, ba'avoisos, with the strong ties, not to lose it. When we are down and out, when we're feeling broken, when we're feeling like we can't take it anymore, that we're in a place that we don't want to be, we pull out the good times of our lives, and from that point right there, we begin to build. We always have the eitzah that the breaking is a foundation from the broken pieces. And what a lesson that is to us, that we're never down. Le'enei Kol Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu, the last words of the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us that we are never out. Hashem never counts us out, and neither should any person ever count someone else out. When we're broken, when someone seems like they're finished and they're gone, that is the beginning of a building process for a Yid. And that's a lesson we also take out of Chag HaSukkos. We remember and we hold on to these good times with strong ropes. We hold on to them and we pull them out to help us build the future great times of our lives. What a lesson for every one of us to learn from Parshas S.S.S. Haberachah, from the Yontif of Sukkot, and from the ending of the Torah. Chag Sameach to everybody.